Yes, we are back from our long journey to Europe. We just got back about 3 weeks ago from doing 4 days in London, a 2-week transatlantic cruise on the Disney Fantasy, and then a few days in Florida at Universal and Epic. So it's taken us a few weeks to get back into the normal groove of life, and so here we are.
Yeah, so in this video we thought we would address, we posted on Instagram like a quick poll just to see what questions people had about the trip, and so we thought we would address that today, plus just kind of give you a rundown of our schedule and what you can expect from us for the rest of the year. And then at the end we'll announce our final trip of the year, because it's not the end, so we're squeezing in one more before the end of the year.
I can't believe the year's almost over. It's crazy.
I know. So hopefully everybody has had a great time prepping for this holiday season. I know it's here. We just got put up our Christmas tree lights. So yeah, it's been crazy lately. So here we are catching up finally.
Yes. All right, so let's jump right into it. So the first question we got was, what were the highlights and lowlights of the trip? So for me, I would say the highlights really were the people on board. So this was the first trip where we actually knew a lot of people on board. Some people we had met on the previous WBTA or EBTAs that we have done. Some people we just kind of knew of through like social media, vlogging, and then we also made some new friends. So I mean, we met so many great people, had so much fun doing different activities, balcony parties, silent discos, like so much fun stuff. I mean, that's what really made the trip special for me, was just all the fun interactions we had. What about you? What are your highlights?
My highlights were having churro waffles like 6 days out of the cruise. It was definitely record setting, so
there's a lot of churro waffles.
Yes, this one started as a low light for me because I was expecting it on the first sea day. That's what they've always done on our previous crossing. So when she said EBTA, WBTA, that's the eastbound, westbound transatlantics, just so you know. So on those, when we've done them in the past, they usually serve them right away, right off the bat. And on this one, I found out, I asked our main server, he's like, oh yeah, they're not doing it till like, day 6, 7, something like that. No pun intended. And so I was a little bit sad, but then it turned out, I don't know if a lot of people brought it up and it just kind of became a thing, or too many people requesting it, I don't know, but we got him like on day 4, day 5, something like that.
Yeah.
And then they served them consecutively, so like I remember
there was like one day they didn't have them.
Yeah, so once they started doing it, like I said, day 5, 6, they were almost every day.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they became very common, which is nice, because I heard that in some some of the recent cruises, like on the Destiny, they had some issues with churro waffles. So no, I got plenty of it, and then like you were saying, all the people. So when we did our first crossing back in 2023, which we have that video up if you're interested. That was the 25th anniversary. We didn't know anybody. It was our first Disney cruise. We didn't know what to expect. And then when we did the second one, we ran into a few people that we know. This is the first one where it was almost like a lot of the people that we sailed back in 2023 were here for this one, and then other people we met along the way. So yeah, being able to sail with so many great cruisers, people that we knew. I would call them
friends.
Friends by now, yes. It made it very memorable, and we've even made a small agreement to maybe come back 2027 with the wish.
That's the rumor.
If it happens, so yeah.
And then, so in terms of lowlights, like I feel like on this cruise, a lot of people had varying complaints, right? Some of them were warranted. Some of them, were small things, I feel like. But for me, like, I didn't have a lot of complaints. I don't have a lot of lowlights. Like, our service was fantastic. Our food was good. Our stateroom host was amazing. Like, really didn't have any complaints. The biggest thing that like got to me this time, and we'll touch on this a little bit later, was just the weather. Some of the weather, like it was a little rocky. It was pretty cold. Like even as we got closer to Florida, you know, trying to swim and stuff, it was pretty chilly most of the time. There were a couple days where the sun was out and we were able to hit the pool, but I feel like not as much as on the previous 2 sailings. But I know that's nothing Disney controls, you know, that's not their fault. That was just the luck of the draw, and with the cruise being later than usual, being in November this year. That's really my only complaint.
That was a bit expected being late November. They usually don't happen this late. So for those that don't know, the reason they did November is because the dry dock got extended or got postponed. And so they usually do these like in September at the latest, you know, mid-October. So they had to push this one out, which of course means colder weather. So yeah, I mean, we kind of expected it. So for me, if I call it a low light, it's a very minor one. It would be like not everything was ready post dry dock, right? So not everything was available. Like for example, they got rid of the hot tubs.
Or like the family hot tub.
And the family hot tub in the regular area, which I guess that wasn't a surprise. They turned it into like a small splash zone, but it wasn't open until like, I don't know, day 11, 12. It was really late, so we didn't get to use that. And then even the adult one, by the time that we tried using it, it was just always busy. So there are some amenities that, even for being 14 days on boat, we didn't get to use.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't. I mean,
it didn't like ruin the trip though. It wasn't like.
No, right, and you know, we didn't have many issues with these crossings. A lot of times things run out. It's very common. I don't think we had anything major. So I think overall it was mostly you know, highlights and not very many lowlights. Not too much for me to complain. I think it was very pleasant.
All right, so the second question that you guys had was, do you prefer eastbound transatlantic or westbound transatlantic? So for me, there's benefits and drawbacks to both, but given the fact that we live in the US and we're coming from the West Coast, so we already lose 2 to 3 hours going to Florida, even more so as you continue on to Europe. For me, the westbound was much more enjoyable because you kind of get the jet lag over like the first 24 hours that you get to Europe. And then as you're sailing back towards the US, you're gaining time almost every night. There's only a few nights where you don't gain time. So by the time you get back to the US, your body's adjusted and there's no jet lag. When we did the eastbound, it was the opposite, where we started refreshed, but we were losing time every day. So we were sleeping in too late. We were tired. The days felt shorter. So that's my preference is definitely the westbound.
And if you're starting in Europe, you're gonna gain time right away. So that's gonna be the difference. You're gonna gain time, but then you're gonna have 23-hour boat days. So the question is, if you're gonna gain time back, would you rather gain that time while flying during travel day, or would you rather have that extra time on the boat? For me, the answer is gonna be on the boat. So now we've done it 3 times. After doing the eastbound, we knew we probably prefer the westbound.
Yeah.
Now that we've done it, the second time it just solidifies how much we like it. So
yeah,
for us starting in the US, we are team westbound all the way.
All right, so next question, I can handle this one, is were you affected by seasickness? And if so, how did you handle it? So he didn't get seasick. Our son didn't get seasick at all. I have never been seasick before, but on this trip, I got seasick for the first time. So it was on the second day, the first full day, sea day, when we were going through the Bay of Biscay, which if you've heard of, it has choppy waters. It's where like 2 bodies of water meet. So it's just always a little bit rough.
And it wasn't just you, it was like
a lot of people were seasick. But again, like I said, I've never been seasick before, even on these long cruises. So I just went about our day as normal. I think we had a light breakfast. I had some fruit. We went to the gym and I was on the treadmill. And as I was walking, I just felt like this weird, felt off feeling. And so I stopped working out. I went and had, someone told me like green apples help. So I had that, helped a little bit, went back to the room. And as soon as I got to the room, I was just like, oh, like it hit me again. I could just like sit on the couch because I was like, if I move, I feel like I'm going to be sick. So eventually, the guys left the room. I took some Dramamine. I laid down for like an hour, and after that, I was fine for the rest of the day. So I think the medicine and just like laying down, letting my body rest and readjust really helped. So I don't know if it's just like me getting older. I mean, I'm 40 now. I know our bodies change. I don't know if the water was just that much worse, if it was the combination of walking on the treadmill while the water was worse. I don't know what it was, but it just hit me this time. So next time I'll definitely be prepared, and I'll like take some medicine ahead of time if it's supposed to be rough.
I had no issues.
You're lucky.
But yeah, so I could feel the waters were definitely rougher
Yeah.
than other crossings, but didn't bother me. I'd
Yeah.
still do it again. Which is, by the way, one plus if you go eastbound.
Yes.
You don't have to go through the Bay of Biscay. So
Yeah.
if that is a concern, you do avoid that going east. So
Yeah.
just something to keep in mind.
All right, next question we got was, did you prefer the Dream or the Fantasy? So the first Westbound and first Eastbound we did were on the Disney Dream. This one was on the Disney Fantasy. My opinion is that they're very similar. The layouts are very similar. You don't really notice a ton of differences. I personally think I preferred the adult area on the Fantasy just because I really liked like the center bar. I forget, La Piazza, I think
La
it's
Piazza,
called.
yeah.
It's like a really big open bar. It was much nicer than like the District, or what's it called on the Dream?
It's like
Not D Lounge.
Not D-Lounge. Yeah,
It's
it
like
was
the District bar, or something like that.
It's like, cause it's very dark when you go through the adult
Yeah,
area.
and
It's
it's
the first bar you
smaller.
see. Yeah.
It's like skinnier. This one's much more open. It's bright, and I liked the tube a lot too. Just the theming of that was really cool. But other than that, other than the adult area, they were very similar.
Yeah, because it's very like European, so it just feels it's nicer.
Yeah,
But that's really the main thing. I mean, everything else is pretty much the same.
yeah.
Royal Place instead of Royal Palace. or-
Royal Court
or Royal
instead
Court.
of Royal Palace. Yeah,
I mean, Animator's Palette is still the same. You still get Enchanted Garden.
yeah. The pools look the same. There is like a splash pad on deck 11, which I don't think they had on the Dream.
But that was pre-doc, post-doc. So
Oh,
I think
okay.
they added the same thing on the
Okay.
Dream. Yeah. The other thing you notice is the shows. So there are some exclusive shows.
Oh
to
yeah,
the
the shows were
Fantasy.
different.
The shows were different because this one they did Frozen
And Aladdin.
and Aladdin.
Yeah.
Which and then on the Dream they do Beauty and the Beast, and I forget which other one. So that is a difference. And I don't know. I mean, in terms of entertainment, which shows did you like better?
My favorite was,
As far as exclusive ones.
yeah, my favorite was still Beauty and the Beast, just because, but that's more of like a personal preference, just because like I grew up watching that movie, so that one resonated with me more. But like the shows on the Fantasy were still really good. Like the Frozen show was really good. So
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest fan of Frozen. I know. Come on me in the comments. But I did enjoy the show more so than Aladdin.
yeah. So I mean, you're gonna get good entertainment either way.
Yeah, and really you
honestly.
should do both because they're a little bit different and there's still some uniqueness.
Yeah.
But yes, I would do either one again. Now the Dream, it's gonna have some unique things coming up, like when Bluey shows up.
Oh yeah.
It's
that's
only gonna be on the Dream initially.
at least. Yeah.
Yeah, so something to keep in mind if you're thinking of either. So if you have kiddos, they're a fan, and you're sailing at early February, March of next year or something like that, you want to do the Dream if you care about Bluey. I think eventually you'll probably be
There was
in
another.
other
I think
ships.
the Wish also. There was like another ship that they were gonna be on too.
Oh yeah,
Two
yeah.
ships starting out. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll fact check ourselves
Yeah.
here, but yes, just something to keep in mind if you are sailing.
Yeah, and then just kind of piggybacking off of that, and I'll let you handle this one. So how were the updates after dry dock on the Fantasy?
So the biggest things, the biggest positive for me, there's a legit Mexican place. So now you got Ramon's Cantina. So if you want some tacos, some bowls, now you can have them. Don't get too excited if you're used to Mexican food. I mean, it's not gonna be, cream in the cup. It's okay. It's average. If you're used to, you live in the West Coast, Mexico, you're used to good Mexican. It's gonna hit the spot, but it's not gonna be the best. So just brace yourself. But having said so, I did still enjoyed having bowl. I think I had a bowl at least 4 or 5 times, just because it's a nice, healthy, protein-heavy dish. So I still enjoyed it. But yeah, just lower your expectations if you're used to it. The other thing, they changed some of the kid spaces. So they moved Edge. Edge used to be like in the back of the ship, deck 13 or 14, something like that. It used to have like its own unique space. And they basically took away half of the space from Vibe and they put it right there. So I talked to a few of the teenagers. They were not very happy because they basically lost half of the space. But now they're all together, so I guess that's kind of nice. But we did get to tour both, and that was a significant difference. And then there's like a few small things, like they changed some carpeting here and there.
Yeah, little things that you notice, like, oh, that looks nice.
Yeah, like they took away, like you were saying, the family hot tub that
Yeah.
no longer exists. Now it's like a small splash pad. So they made a lot of changes to like the water station just to make it a little bit more
Well,
open.
then there was the other splash pad in the back, like behind the entrance for the aqueduct, like that bigger splash pad. I don't know if that
I think that's
existed.
always been on
Okay.
the Fantasy. You're talking about the Aqua.
Yeah, because that's not on the
Aqua
Dream.
Splash. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That
that's
was
another
one
difference.
Yeah.
And then I think they took away one of the bars. Like I think Wave is no
Yeah,
longer
Waves
there,
is
which
not
used to be
there.
there. And then of course they installed a new. There's a new Fantasy Suites that went
yeah.
up. I don't know if those were ready when we did it, but if you want one of the best rooms, I forget what the theming, what they're gonna do, but it's similar to the Dream. Basically, if for one of like the best suites, with like basically where Edge used to be, that's now like a big suite.
Yeah.
So if you want to pay,
Oh, and they have the new concierge suites too, right? Wasn't that new? Like on the deck 10.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
changes to the concierge. Yeah, I think I want to say the club, the club was different that they opened. It's now
Some
themed after
updates, yeah.
Hercules. Yeah, there's some like
And we're
a
gonna
bunch
have
of
a
new stuff
full.
they do.
We're gonna have a full walkthrough coming out a little bit later, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, and
get
it'll
some
show
more in-depth.
some of those changes. So yeah, they renovated a lot of those rooms in concierge. So yeah, lots of other changes here. But yeah, it was mostly. I'm sure there's a lot other behind the scenes, but those were probably some of the main ones.
Yeah. So next question, what was your favorite meal or food on board? So this time we actually I did both the specialty restaurants. I did Remy with a friend, and we both did Palo together. So having that have been the first time, I think like value for what you get, my favorite was Palo. The service was like just as good as we got at Remy. The food was really good. It was super filling, and it's like $50 compared to $150 for Remy. So taking price into account plus quality of food, Palo was like by far my favorite. Anything that we had on board. It was really good.
Yeah, for me, I enjoy like the casual, like the sit down place breakfast and lunches that we had. So we got to enjoy a few of those. Those are really
Yeah.
nice.
And the churro waffles.
Of course, yeah, churro waffles. That's always gonna be a top one. Had that many times. So yeah, and Palo was a very memorable brunch.
It's like an experience.
Yeah, I was a little
Yeah.
skeptical because for me, like, I don't want to pay $50 when I've already paid thousands of dollars for the cruise. The food is included, so I
Yeah.
wasn't like too into it. But I wanted to, give it a try just to see, what the rave is about. So
Yeah.
yeah,
and
it was nice.
If you compare it to what you would pay for like a really nice like brunch restaurant or like a nice place on land, like you're not gonna get that much food or that type of service for $50 a person. So,
Yeah, and for a special occasion, I mean, I don't know that we would do it all the time, but
no.
it was definitely it was a good way to celebrate. We're celebrating our anniversary too,
Yeah,
so
9 years.
it was a nice nice meal together. No kids, very like private
Yeah.
area, good views. We didn't see any whales though. That would have made it better. But
And
yeah,
in terms of the casual dining, the curry too, some of the curries were really good. They will still bring you like a special crew curry if you ask for it.
yes. Otherwise, there are some typical heavy hitters that I always go for that didn't disappoint. Like I always enjoy doing the empanadas, which I did it on day one for the first time, and those were nice.
Mm-hmm.
It is in one of the other menus, so I always enjoy those. The samosas that they do on Pirate Time, those are always good. There was like one dinner that was surf and turf. That's one of my favorite ones. That one is nice. And then, yeah, I mean, most of the meals were really good. But yeah, any churro waffle day is a good day for me.
All right, so the next question we got was, what was your favorite port stop? So I want to hear your answer before I answer.
I enjoy Coruña, and part of the reason for that is because so for this stop, Coruña is a coastal town and is very close to Vigo, which was supposed to be one of our stops, but we didn't end up stopping because of weather reasons. So the boat ended up staying in Coruña for 2 days. But it wasn't just 2 days where like you have to come back and then you stay and then you dock again or you disembark again the next day. It actually stayed overnight continuously, so you could actually exit. Mm-hmm. So I've been in some boats where you have to come back in the evening and you can't exit anymore. This one stayed open 24 hours, which for us it meant that because Disney has some of the best kid clubs available and you can have your kid in there while you go out, that meant that we could leave Killian inside taken care of, and we could actually have like a proper date night in Spain and go have like a drink in town, hang out with locals. So yeah, we got to do that. So
yeah,
that was very memorable to me, and so I really enjoyed it, just being able to have like
when do you get
like
to
a
go,
night out in Spain.
Yeah, when do you get a date night like in Spain? Like just you, like
well,
that
yeah,
doesn't
right.
happen.
Unless you're bringing like grandparents
or like a nanny
with
like,
you or
you
nanny.
Don't get that.
As when you're traveling as a family, you hardly get that because you got to go to bed, right? So
yeah.
And we didn't get all crazy like
we were gone like 2 hours.
Yeah, we only got 2 hours. I mean,
but it was a great 2 hours.
We could have gone to a Spanish club at 2 a.m. if we wanted. That would have been pushing it. But no,
the kids club closes at midnight.
Closes at midnight, so I guess midnight would have been.
And they do. So if you are getting off the boat, they do like take your cell phone number. So if there are any issues, they will get a hold of you. So it's not like you're just leaving your kid and assuming everything's fine. Like you have to communicate with them. Like I'm leaving the boat. Here's where I'll be. Here's when I'll be back. So. And
we were at the most 10-minute walk to the boat. So there's an emergency. They have our number. They could have gotten a hold of us. We would have been back. We would have probably ran back.
And he didn't even want to get off the boat. He wanted to go to the kids' club.
So that was nice. Plus, when we got out the next day, because we were there again, we could take our time. We had some nice tapas. So it was good. It was good enjoying one port stop for 48 hours, with the ability to experience it in the evening. That was unique, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I also really enjoyed that. But I will say my favorite port stop was, of course, Castaway Cay.
Which wasn't on the schedule. And there had been like rumors early on or people asking like, hey, we're going to be going to Florida, like, can the ship stop at Castaway Cay? And, everybody was like, that's not going to happen. Yeah,
they're not going to do that.
Everybody would be like, no.
Yeah, and so then they canceled Vigo because of the weather, Some people were upset, I don't think many people minded too much. And then all of a sudden, like a few days later, the Captain Wesley came on the intercom and like he sounded upset, and we were like, oh no, there was an emergency, something happened, and it turns out he actually decided the schedule ended up working out. We were able to stop at Castaway Cay unexpectedly. It was like, you would have thought it was like Christmas morning or like Disney was giving out free money, like the place went nuts.
Everybody was excited.
Yeah. So, and I literally, like, I've always wanted to do one of those cruises. They're just always so pricey to go to the private island, so we've never done it. And they're always short cruises typically, right?
Yeah.
So for me, like, I almost was so excited. I almost had tears in my eyes. Like that just like made the trip for me. So like we had a great day there. We spent time with a friend, one of our son's friends, and just got to enjoy all the parts of Castaway Cay, see everything. It was a really nice day. So that was definitely my favorite port stop.
Yeah, it was a lovely day. All right, so for the next question, this is another question that we got a bunch of times. Were you affected by any of the new European travel requirements? So what they're talking about, like in 2025, early 2026, there's a lot of talk about introducing new visa requirements for Americans or really any visitor. And the only thing that we noticed or we came across is that the United Kingdom now does have has like a new, it's not like a visa requirement, but you have to do they call it an electronic travel form, ETA. And basically all it is just a form that you fill out. You put your travel information and you just have to certify that you're coming in a specific day, ask you some questions like where you're staying, but you're basically just pre-registering to enter the country.
Yeah.
So that was the only new thing, and it comes with a fee. I think you pay like, I forget, like 12, 13 pounds, something like that. It was going up, so it might be closer to like 15 by the time you do it. So that was a difference, which...
And it's tied to your passport, so we didn't need like documentation either.
Right, you tie it to your passport, so when we checked in, when we went through customs, they didn't like ask us if we had one. I think that's one of those things that you just have to have. If you don't, you get flagged. But yeah, that was really the only change. I know there was like some rumors about, oh, when you cross to Europe now you have to do facial recognition and all these extra steps. I don't know if it's because now we're on a boat, but yeah, when we went through Spain, so when we exited the UK and had our first port stop in Spain, there was no extra requirements. You just walked out like normal. And then we did Portugal next, nothing different. So, but that doesn't mean that when you travel you might not have differences, because the European Union is also considering some changes that are supposed to be coming in 2026. So in that case, I think you are gonna have to probably fill out one of these new forms. So just something to keep in mind if you're coming on one of these European ones for 2026.
Yeah, and I won't go into details. It's a story for another day. But honestly, the worst like travel experience we had was getting back into the U.S.
Yeah.
So
getting back to the U.S., that's a different story.
Like I said, story for another day. But that was the most difficult, worse than anything we went through in Europe.
Yeah.
So
some of that related to the government shutdown.
Yeah, it wasn't like Disney's fault. It was just it was a mess. All right, so next question, and I'll let you handle this one too, is how did we afford a 14-day Disney cruise?
Yeah, so if you were to pull up on the Disney Cruise Line website, pull up a typical Disney cruise ride, a lot of these 3-4 day ones start at like $2,000, something like that, just on average, family of 3. So when you look at that and then you run the math, well, 2 weeks, take those 3-4 days, multiply that times 5, that's gonna add up. You're probably paying at least $10,000 for these cruises, right? But no, actually, so on Disney Cruise Line, the more you sell, the longer the days, the cheaper that it actually is. So for these 14-day cruises, you're paying about the same that you would for like a typical 7-day Caribbean cruise. So they're actually quite affordable. So as long as you save up, you're gonna get the best value on these 14-day ones. Now for us, we pre-budget for that. So we know we want one of these long ones at least once a year. So we try to save up ahead of time, so when they get released, so when we're ready, there's a good deal, we just book it. And then with that, plus the ability to, because we use a lot of travel points and miles, being able to travel one way anywhere on points and being able to get a good deal on the cruise fare, it allows us to do all these long trips where it's more affordable. So that's the high level. There's more into it, which we'll get to in a future video. But yeah, that's how we're able to afford such a long one, especially on a non-value cruise line like Disney.
Yeah. And then the last question we got was, how are we able to take so many days off during the school year? And that is mainly just because we homeschool. So our son has been homeschooled since kindergarten. He would be technically 1st to 2nd grade-ish, right? Homeschoolers, we don't...
second grade if you
we don't do grade levels. But yeah, we actually met some other homeschoolers on the cruise. Killian met some good friend who's also homeschooled. So it's a common thing. And we also met people who just said, you know what, I just pulled my kids out of school. And in the US, I understand that's a little bit easier to do depending on where you go to school, what your state laws are. I know like in the UK specifically, you get fined if you take your kids out of school, which is like crazy. But
yeah.
Some people just said, we wanted to do it, so we're going to pay the fine. And, people find ways if they want to make it work. But for us, we homeschool, so we just kind of plan. We know that we're going to be traveling, so we actually homeschool year round. And then we take regular breaks throughout the year to make room for travel. And so far, it's worked out really well.
Yeah, there are some families so we're from Arizona. We met families from Arizona that pull their kids from school. So, I mean, it's possible. You just make sure you talk to your district, understand what their requirements are, because, they'll work with you. You just have to just be aware of that. But yeah, some districts are more strict. It varies by district, state. So just get familiar with that. But it's definitely possible. A lot of people do it. But you just might have to face some consequences, fines or something. But
Yeah.
but yeah, totally doable.
Yeah, so that was it for the big questions. Definitely let us know if you have other questions in the comments, and then we wanted to touch on what we have going on for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and as far as the rest of the year, we're gonna go back to Disneyland. So we haven't been in 2 years.
Yeah.
It's been a while. We used to be pass holders.
Yeah, for 2 years we had annual
yeah,
passes.
when we started, we filmed a lot of Disney content. Some terrible content. So if you want to know what bad blogging is, go back to the history. I didn't have good equipment, so I didn't know what I was doing. So if you want to see, good progress, if you're trying to get into content creation and want to see a quick evolution, go watch those. Actually, don't watch them; they're pretty bad. But anyway, so that's how we started, and yeah, we haven't been in 2 years because at some point we decided, you know what, there's nothing new here. These magic keys keep going up.
Yeah.
Let's try something new. That's when we started cruising.
As soon as we didn't renew, they were like, we're gonna do the San Francisco stuff. They did that whole change, and we were like, really?
Oh yeah, so we haven't seen
any of
the
that.
new land. And then we get to go back for the holidays, which we used to do Festival of Holidays
And we loved it.
every year. It's one of our favorite
Christmas
parts.
at Disney is amazing. So
Yeah, it's really nice.
And the main reason we're going is it's our son's birthday. We asked him, this is the first year he didn't want to have a party. He chose to do a trip, and so we asked him where he wanted to go. He said Disney, so we're making that happen for him. It'll be a short trip, just a weekend trip, and we're going to do a very casual vlog from that.
Yeah, we'll do a 2-day holiday just to see what it's like. But yeah, he's very excited. He's 6 right now, and he's turning 7, so he's very excited.
If you have kids, you get the reference there. Yeah, and then we're still in the planning stages for next year. We have a couple ideas up our sleeve, but nothing finalized yet. So we'll probably do a future video on that once we're a little more firm on our plans.
Yeah, but the only thing we'll say is that it is going to be theme park focus and related. And there is a reason for that, which we'll reveal soon. But yes, we're going to be able to do more of these trips so that we can show you what it's
and
like.
And more cruises too, of course.
And cruises.
Yeah.
So yeah, expect some of the content to come. And then, of course, we'll get back to the series of the Transatlantic.
Yes, we're
so you can see
planning
what that's like.
to start releasing those. So we're going to do, obviously we're releasing this video. We're going to switch over and release the Disneyland content. Just, Christmas, keep that kind of during Christmas time because that's always fun to watch. And then come beginning of the year, beginning of January, we're going to start releasing the cruise series.
So yeah, stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed, obviously we appreciate the support. And you can get these notifications when new ones come out. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you soon.